Heartbreaking news is coming to your home. The one who hurt you. A dramatic and urgent message from God reaches you now, piercing the veil of the ordinary. Brace yourself, for heartbreaking news is coming to your home, but rejoice in this divine justice. The one who hurt you, who caused your pain and sorrow, will soon bring their reckoning before the throne of heaven. This moment is critical, not just for you but for a larger divine plan, and you have been chosen to witness the unfolding of God's perfect justice. The Lord's hand moves swiftly, and your faith is your armor and your beacon at this transformative time. In this sacred hour, understand that what the world calls pain, God transforms into power. The injustice you suffered cannot escape the eyes of the Almighty. Though your heart may be heavy with tears, know that the Lord is gathering all evidence in His hands. No deceit shall go unnoticed. This is a call to trust beyond what the natural eye can see. Have you felt the stirring in your spirit lately? That is God preparing the scales of justice for balance. So, now is the time to align your heart and soul with His divine truth. If you believe in this profound justice, comment Amen below to affirm your faith and spiritual alignment. Let your voice rise as a testament to your trust in God's righteous plan. You are not a bystander in the cosmic drama of justice. God has placed you at a crossroads where your faith will ignite blessings like a beacon in dark times. Your prayers, your belief, and your spiritual connection create an unbreakable chain to heaven, pulling divine favor to your doorstep. Do you see the signs? The numbers 1111, 222, 777, and 999 are messengers of alignment and awakening from the angelic realm. When you see these numbers, recognize them as invitations to deepen your spiritual connection. Type these numbers in the comments to unlock blessings and show your readiness for divine intervention. The enemy may have tried to deceive and harm, but God's plan is beyond what the eye can comprehend. Your role is pivotal, for you carry a message of hope and renewal to those who watch and wait for justice. The heartbreak you endure will be the soil from which your soul's greatest victories arise. As the heavens open, expect unexpected miracles, doors swinging wide in your favor, answers to prayers manifested, and a peace surpassing all understanding flooding your heart. To affirm your readiness for these miracles, type Amen to receive an outpouring of celestial blessings. Never doubt that God's timing is perfect and that the divine justice will arrive at the exact moment designed by the Most High. This is not a random event. It is the intersection of your faith journey and God's eternal plan. Your unique role is to remain steadfast and to act as a spiritual warrior, engaging your faith fully. Invite friends and loved ones who may be going through similar trials to witness this message. Encourage them to comment 1111 or 777 to affirm their own alignment with the divine path. The news coming to your home is not merely information. It is an anointed revelation heralding a new beginning. The one who hurt you has sown seeds that will yield justice in fullness, perfectly balanced by God's mercy and righteous judgment. Your heart's wounds will heal as divine justice turns the tide, restoring peace, honor, and blessing. This revelation is a powerful reminder that God's justice transcends human understanding. It is swift, sure, and merciful. Let your faith be a guiding light and respond with the number 999 in the chat to claim your place in this sacred unfolding. In your moments of doubt, call upon your angels and divine guides. They are here, surrounding you, ready to deliver messages and blessings. Each time you encounter the sequence 222 in your daily life, pause and acknowledge it as a spiritual confirmation. You are being seen and supported by heaven's highest forces. Share your experiences in the comments. Your testimony can inspire others to stand firm in faith. This extraordinary message is one of hope, restoration, and divine timing. The enemy's plans to hurt and destroy are being dismantled by the heavenly host. Your perseverance through pain and heartbreak is itself a victory that God honors greatly. Remember, every heartfelt prayer you utter strengthens your position as a chosen vessel of justice. Engage deeply with this moment by typing "Amen" as your spiritual declaration that you will not waver. As this divine narrative unfolds before you, the heavens lean closer than you realize. Every breath you take in this season is witnessed by realms you cannot see, yet they shape the very ground on which you stand. There is a stirring, a shift in the unseen world that has been long in motion, long awaited, long prophesied over your life. The angels have been watching the chambers of your heart, its breaking, its healing, its trembling faith, and they have begun to move with intention and precision. This is not a vague stirring. This is a spiritual alignment that has been orchestrated for your destiny, for your renewal, and for your justice. Keep your heart open to signs and wonders, because the spiritual realm is not silent. You may feel the atmosphere around you thickening with meaning, with significance, with divine nearness. That is no accident. God's angels, assigned and faithful, move invisibly at your side, orchestrating events that will ultimately vindicate your truth. They are aligning people, circumstances, messages, dreams, confirmations, and divine timing so that nothing is wasted, nothing overlooked, nothing dismissed. This is a holy moment in your life, and heaven has declared that your story will not end in injustice or confusion. This spiritual alignment is critical now more than ever. You may sense it in your bones, in the way your intuition sharpens, in the way your spirit pulls you toward prayer, toward reflection, toward inner strength. These feelings are not random, they are invitations. Engage with this message deeply, boldly, intentionally. The spiritual world responds to the posture of your heart. When you comment 1111, it is not merely a sequence of numbers, it is a declaration that you are stepping into this divine moment of transformation and blessings. It is a statement of readiness, of surrender, of alignment with heavenly order. You are being called to be a witness to God's unfailing justice. Not passive, not silent, not hidden in the shadows. You are being called to stand as evidence that God's hand moves for those who believe, who trust, who persevere. Your prayers serve as incense before the throne of heaven. Your faith, even in small murmurs or silent tears, echoes like thunder in spiritual places. Your willingness to engage, even through a comment, a number, a whisper of "Amen," fuels a powerful spiritual momentum. This is not a solitary journey. You are part of a larger spiritual tapestry, a network of souls awakening to the reality that heaven intervenes in time, in space, in circumstances. When you invite others to comment 777, you are not asking for endorsement, you are summoning a community of spiritual warriors into alignment. You are encouraging others to open themselves to divine intervention, to spiritual awakening, to a renewed consciousness of God's presence. Together, you create waves in the unseen realm. Waves that dismantle darkness, waves that confront injustice, waves that amplify the reach of heaven's intentions. Understand this with clarity: God's justice is not vengeance. God does not move from anger, He moves from truth, healing, and restoration. There is a deep misunderstanding in the world about divine justice. People think it is punishment, but in truth it is divine recalibration. It is God restoring balance to what has been distorted, returning peace where chaos reigned, rebuilding what was stolen or broken. God's justice is a healing force, not a destructive one. The pain inflicted on you, pain you may not have told anyone about, pain you kept hidden so deep within you that even your closest friends could not sense it, will not be wasted. It will be transformed, redeemed, reshaped into a testimony so powerful that even the heavens will take notice of the shift. Trust that the divine courtroom is in session. Trust that the judge of all the earth sees what was hidden, hears what was silenced, and understands what was too heavy for you to explain. When you are ready to receive this divine justice, express it by commenting, Amen. That small act becomes a spark of spiritual agreement, a signal to heaven that you are prepared to step into what God has already prepared. Now is the moment for you to claim your spiritual power. You are not a background character in your own destiny. You are not a passive observer of spiritual warfare. You are an active participant, chosen and blessed, carrying light within you that has the capacity to break chains, to shift atmospheres, to realign destinies. When you recognize this, you begin to walk differently, not with arrogance, but with spiritual authority. The numbers 1111 and 222 are reminders of this alignment. They call you back to your center. They awaken your awareness that heaven is guiding your steps. Dare to comment these numbers as your declaration of faith. Dare to step out of hesitation and into spiritual certainty. When you do, something begins to move inside you. You feel clarity where there was fog. You feel courage where there was fear. You feel assurance where there was doubt. This is not superstition, this is spiritual focus. This is the act of anchoring your faith in symbolic language that heaven understands. The silence in your life, the one that has felt so heavy and absolute, is not what you think it is. It is not emptiness. It is not absence. It is the sacred space between the final note of a long and painful symphony and the first, breathtaking chord of a new one. That heaviness you carry is not the weight of despair, but the gravitational pull of a destiny that is now aligning, drawing you in, preparing to settle you into a place you were always meant to inhabit. This message finds you not in a moment of chance, but in a moment of divine appointment. It carries an urgency that cannot be ignored, a frequency that resonates with the very core of your spirit, because heaven does not sound the trumpet lightly. It does not stir the celestial realms for trivialities. It moves for redemption. It moves for restoration. It moves for you. You are standing at a threshold, a doorway that generations before you strained to see, prayed to reach, but could not. Their faith, their hopes, their silent tears watered the ground upon which you now stand, creating a spiritual inheritance of breakthrough that is now yours to claim. This path was not opened by your striving alone, though your endurance has been heroic. It has been opened for you through a divine mercy that saw your struggle, that heard the whispers of your heart when your lips could no longer form the words, and that decided, with infinite compassion, that enough was enough. The heavenly gates, those immense, pearlescent doors that separate the temporal from the eternal, are now swinging open. And what emerges is not what your fears have whispered to you in the dark of night. It is not destruction, not more loss, not further humiliation. It is the brilliant, unstoppable cavalry of justice, and riding on its crest are blessings you have not dared to imagine, a restoration that will reassemble the broken pieces of your life into a mosaic more beautiful than the original, an elevation that will lift you to a vantage point where you can finally see the purpose in the pain, and a peace that will settle in your soul like a long-awaited dawn after a relentless night. Consider your heartache, the specific, sharp pain that has been your unwelcome companion. See it now not as a sentence, but as a catalyst. In the laboratories of heaven, the very elements of your sorrow are being transformed. The agony that once felt like a death is being revealed as a birth, a painful, tumultuous, but sacred birth of something new within you. The tears you cried in secret, the ones you wiped away quickly lest anyone see, the ones that fell onto your pillow with no witness but the moon, each one was a seed. You thought they were lost to the barren ground of your suffering, but they were being planted in the fertile soil of divine purpose. They were not shed in vain. They were prayers in liquid form, and now, in this appointed season, they are germinating. They are pushing through the soil, breaking through the hard crust of your past, and reaching for the sun of God's favor. Your faith, the faith that has been shaken by disappointment, battered by betrayal, and worn thin by waiting, that very faith, which you fear is too small, too weak, is the very instrument heaven is now using to orchestrate your divine favor. It is not the size of your faith that matters, but the object of it. A flickering candle in a vast darkness is still a light that guides the way, and your flickering faith has been seen. When you type 999, understand the profound spiritual transaction you are initiating. You are not engaging in a superstition or a hollow digital ritual. You are accepting a supernatural blessing. You are lifting your head and acknowledging, with a conscious act of your will, that the final chapter of your suffering is closing. The number 9 signifies completion, the end of a cycle. By typing it, you are agreeing with heaven's decree. You are signing your name to the divine document that states the season of loss is over. The ledger of your pain is being tallied for the final time, and the balance is being transferred to an account of grace. You are declaring that the book of your past struggles is being shelved, and a new, blank, glorious volume is being opened. A new chapter of grace, written in the ink of mercy and bound with the leather of love. Behind the veil of your visible reality, a mobilization of immense power is underway. The angels, those magnificent beings of light and purpose, are moving. You may not see them with your physical eyes, but their activity is as real as the breath in your lungs. They are the unseen architects of your shifting reality. They are aligning the cosmos in your favor, adjusting the spiritual frequencies so that blessings can find their way to your doorstep. They are guiding conversations, placing a word of hope in the mouth of a stranger you will meet, or softening the heart of someone you need to reconcile with. They are delaying certain events that would have caused you harm, holding back a storm until you are safely indoors. They are accelerating other events, bringing opportunities to you before their time, because heaven has declared that your wait is over. They are surgically removing harmful influences from your life, severing cords that drained your energy, and closing doors you were never meant to walk through. They are orchestrating divine appointments, bringing you into contact with people who hold a key to your destiny. A chance encounter that will feel like a coincidence but is, in fact, a meticulously planned delivery of a divine package. You may not hear the sound of their wings, but you have felt their presence. It is that sudden, inexplicable peace that washed over you in the middle of a panic attack. It is the intuitive nudge that told you to turn left instead of right, sparing you from an accident. It is the face of a loved one who has passed on, appearing in a dream not to frighten you, but to comfort you with a message of love. It is that sudden moment of clarity, when the confusion lifts and you know, with a certainty that defies logic, exactly what your next step should be. This is not your imagination. This is your divine appointment. This is your sacred moment to stop being a victim of your circumstances and to claim your victory over pain and injustice. The battlefield is in your mind, and the weapon you have been given is your faith. This is where your involvement becomes crucial. You are not a passive observer in this divine drama, you are a co-creator of your destiny. When you feel the old fears rising, when the whispers of doubt try to convince you that nothing has changed, that is the moment to call upon the power of heaven with a simple, yet profound word, Amen. This word is so much more than a punctuation to a prayer. It is a spiritual affirmation. It is a declaration that means, so be it. It is you stamping heaven's truth over the enemy's lies. When you type Amen, you are proclaiming that you walk not alone through the valley, but with a divine protection that surrounds you like a shield. It is a reminder that your journey, with all its twists and turns, is held by hands far greater and more capable than your own. It is you choosing to trust the architect instead of focusing on the temporary scaffolding. And you must settle this in your spirit now, God's justice is perfect. It is not the flawed, often delayed justice of human systems. It is a justice that is perfectly intertwined with compassion. It does not miss its target. It addresses every single wound, every hidden hurt, every unfairness you have endured. It does not arrive late. It arrives at the perfect moment for maximum impact and for your ultimate good. It does not forget. The wounds of the innocent are sacred to God, and each one is accounted for in His ledger. The one who hurt you, whether they acted with malicious intent or the clumsy, painful ignorance of human frailty, will face the consequences that heaven determines. That part of the story is not yours to control, to orchestrate, or to predict. Your obsession with their comeuppance only ties you to them, keeping you bound to the very pain you seek to escape. Your role, your sacred and liberating assignment, is to release them to heaven's court and to focus entirely on your own healing, your own growth, your own prayers, and your own faith. Your liberation is not contingent upon their punishment. Your liberation is the result of your focus shifting from the one who broke you to the one who makes all things new. When doubt tries to creep in, as it inevitably will, that is your signal to realign. Typing 1111 is not a magical incantation. It is an act of spiritual alignment. It is a way to pull your scattered, anxious spirit back into the truth of divine order and peace. It represents a gateway, a new beginning, a moment where thought manifests into reality. It is you tuning your spirit's radio dial to the frequency of miracles, drowning out the static of fear. This message, these words you are reading, are not simply text on a screen. This is a divine reset for your soul. It is an invitation, written in the language of eternity and delivered to your heart, to let go of your own timeline, your own limited understanding of fairness, and to fully embrace God's timing, God's flawless fairness, and God's relentless, pursuing love. Let every Amen you type be a spiritual handshake with your angels, a firm agreement that you are on this path together. Let every 222 be a reminder of the harmony that is being restored to your relationships and your inner world. Let every 777 be an acknowledgement of the spiritual perfection that is now in motion, the completion of God's plan for you. Let every sacred number be a declaration that you trust heaven's plan more than you trust your fears. The justice that is coming to your home, your inner home, your heart, is a transformative force. It is spiritual justice, restoring your sense of worth and identity. It is emotional justice, healing the caverns of grief and replacing them with pools of joy. It is relational justice, bringing reconciliation where it is possible and holy closure where it is not. It is inner justice, where the critical voice inside you is silenced by the affirming voice of God. This justice will perform the ultimate alchemy. It will transform your sorrow into spiritual gold. The very pain that once weakened you, that made you feel small and fragile, will become the tempered steel in your backbone. It will become the strength that allows you to lift others who are now where you once were. The tear-stained prayers you whispered in exhaustion, the ones you thought evaporated into nothingness, did not disappear. They became the foundation, the solid rock, upon which the miracles of this coming season will be built. Your past pain is the infrastructure for your future purpose. Do not underestimate the ripple effect of your spiritual participation. Your involvement matters more than you can possibly fathom. This is not a solitary journey. Every Amen you type, every moment you choose faith over fear, does not just light your own path. It sends a shockwave of hope through the spiritual realm. It lights a path for countless others who are silently watching, waiting in their own valleys, wondering if God sees them. Your courage becomes their evidence. Your breakthrough becomes their prophecy. You become a torchbearer in the fog of human suffering. You become a witness, testifying that the stories of redemption are true. You become a spiritual warrior, not with weapons of destruction, but with the sword of truth, helping to remind a weary world that God sees, God restores, and God redeems. Your life is living proof. This is not just a message. It is a movement of the Spirit, and heaven itself is watching how you respond. This is the great partnership between the divine and the human. Each Amen, each sacred number you type, each conscious decision to believe when the evidence is not yet visible, becomes a signature on the divine contract written over your life before time began. It is you saying, I agree. I accept. I believe. And you must know, with a certainty that anchors your soul, that God's plan is unfolding for you right now. Not in the distant, abstract tomorrow, not in the vague, someday, you have been clinging to, but now. In this very moment, as you read this, the gears of heaven are turning on your behalf. The divine machinery of redemption is in motion. Therefore, stand firm in hope. Do not be swayed by the temporary calm before the storm of blessings breaks. Declare your faith boldly, not just in the safety of your quiet room, but in the way you carry yourself, in the hope you allow to shine in your eyes. Trust, with a childlike certainty, that what is coming will not only restore what was lost but will bless you beyond the scope of your own imagination. Your journey, every ounce of your pain, every step of your healing, every moment of your impending victory, is being recorded. It is being written in divine, indelible ink across heavenly scrolls, a testimony for the ages. And whenever your heart feels uncertain, when the old shadows lengthen and the familiar ache returns, do not despair. That is the moment to act. Type Amen. Type 1111. Type 999. Type 777. Type 222. Do not do it as a superstitious chant, but as a living, breathing reminder, a spiritual reset button. You are realigning yourself with the truth that you are a child of the Most High, aligned with heaven, protected by angels, and destined for a victory that echoes into eternity. Your moment has come. The scales of justice are tipping in your favor. Your blessings, long held in escrow for this appointed time, are now on their way, traveling the divine pathways to reach you. And heaven, with all its power, its majesty, and its infinite love, is with you. Not was with you. Not will be with you. Is with you. Now. And always.